Hey traders, CN Trader here again. Today I wanted to take a look at the Euro weekly chart or Euro USD, some analysis. We'll do some chart analysis. I'm going to go over some trades that we did and just really to demonstrate, not to so much to talk about the bank that we made, but more or less to illustrate and demonstrate the power of harmonics and looking at areas of support resistance and areas of supply demand and looking at the opportunities that harmonics can present in both directions of the market. First thing I want to do is just take, you see we have a weekly chart here. We're going to just kind of scroll out a little bit here and we're going to look at the level that we're at now. You'll notice I have a line here. There's a reason I have a line there. But if we're looking at, this is the price line where price is right now. And if we go back in history, we could see we're in an area that's pretty important and pretty close to my line that I have here. And you could see that there's been some battles in this area. When price did come up to this area in 2003, 2004, you could see it touched, came back up, and then came through. And then as it developed, it got through, it came back, and you could see the test here, little struggle here, a nice little battle right here that took place right here. You could see that hits 1, 2, 3 times. And remember, this is a weekly, so that took some time. And then, of course, it just broke out and kept going until 2008 crisis that took place. And we see that price came right down and bounced right off that level, the price level that we're at right now. You can see we're never able to close below it at all. And again, it comes down, tests it, bounces off. And we see it comes down here, a little struggle, comes through, comes back. And you can see these levels are where my line is. And then, of course, you have this, And then the recent sell-off in the euro that took place in 2014, you could see that when Draghi and the ECB started to print some money and they started to lower interest rates, you can see a big sell-off here. And then you could see that price is just kind of stalled a little bit before finally falling off. You get a nice little higher high red candle close, just completely engulfed all of that, and then just took off to the downside. Gave nice opportunities for pips to be made, bank to be made. So wanted to go over where we're at now. So we'll do some analysis to show you guys where we're at. We take that swing high to the swing low here, and you can see I have my line right at the 618, and you see the 786 is up here. So the 618. So we have a little zone that's going on here. If I go ahead and just mark this little zone, I'll go ahead and put a line right there. You could see the battle touches. This is where price is right now. We're in a little price zone right now. And we're going to go ahead and zoom in on the daily chart and just show you some of the opportunities that have been taking place in this zone to both get up to this zone and also around the area. So we're going to look at the daily. We're going to zoom in a little bit here, and we're going to take a look at this daily chart and just show you some things that some opportunities that came that we were able to take advantage of. Obviously, we had this nice little opportunity that I had put out on forum where we had a head and shoulders pattern, and we had a break, and then of course we broke it, but we came right back up above that neckline, which signaled, which was a good signal that you should probably be out of that trade if you were looking for further downside. And then we took this trade. You could see a nice little pattern that developed here. We got to a 707, but we were really close above it. We didn't get to 786, 618 here. So if we look at this extension from X to A, you can see we're coming right up into this level, the 175 and the 161, and it gave us a really nice opportunity to make a few pips to bank. I'll go ahead and draw that out. You got X to A to B, and another one, B to C, and you got C to D that came right up into this level here. So that was a really nice opportunity. The structure was here, so this would definitely be where an individual would want to consider, if they're getting short, they'd want to consider taking some profit, or at least booking some if that's a target 1 or 2, but they definitely want to consider it. The reason why we booked it is I saw something else come in here, and we're going to scroll down to this 4-hour chart, and this was a nice trade that we took. If you look at, we took this last week, and we got involved again yesterday. But if you look at this swing right here, oops, and we go up to this high right here, you can see we came down to a 50. Right, so right off the bat, we're looking for a bat. Come down to that 886, and you can see we touched it exactly to the pip. Now, I always talk about waiting for behavior before getting involved in these trades. Your behavior is going to give you a higher probability. So I didn't have a limit here. So did I miss a few pips? Yeah. But I waited patiently for behavior to develop, and you can see this took some time. This took a few days to develop, and the behavior that I saw, which I've talked about a lot on the thread and in the videos, is just very simply a nice little inverted head and shoulders pattern where we have the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and we have the neckline, and that comes in right in here. And you could see, you can even do this if you want. There you go. So this gave us a nice opportunity to get involved in this trade, and you could see that when we got involved in a trade, we got involved in a trade right around here. When we did, it broke out, came up, hit our targets. Or my target was really only here. So if I go ahead and I put a line here, that's where I was looking to get out. And then we had some really nice behavior when we came down to the structure. If you look left, if I go ahead and put a line here, right where I have that neckline, you can see the structure right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. So yesterday's price action gave us a nice opportunity to re-enter by price behavior and take advantage of another move to the upside, and it was a pretty strong move that came in. And so now we're looking at something else that's coming in here. And so I want to go ahead and I want to clean this chart up a little bit, and we're not going to discuss the past anymore. We're going to discuss what's developing right now. But what else we need to be mindful of as well. So I am looking for opportunity, and I'm waiting patiently. And it could happen after I could get involved after I make the video. It might not happen. We may go a little bit further up, and so that's what I'm paying attention to. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here to the 4-hour, and you're going to see that if I go ahead and take this Fibonacci and I take this swing right here, and I take this swing low right here, you could see we come up to a 50 right here. Not quite the 618. And so if we see we come up to the 50, we don't get to that 618, we get a retrace and we're going long, where are we looking for? We're looking for a potential bat pattern to develop, and you can see the 886. So this area right here starts to become our sell zone. That's what we're looking for in a bat pattern to be our potential opportunity to get involved in a trade in this zone. So we want to be looking at that. But remember, we have to be mindful of this weekly 618. There's still room to the upside, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a move taking out the stops up in that area. But if I go back down to that daily, you could see it, and you can see our 131 comes in here and our 127 comes in here. So there could be another pattern that potentially develops. But let me go ahead and draw this out here. We have some ratio confluence in this area. I'm going to go ahead and take this. There's your X to A to B, B to C, C to D. So there's our bat. That's a pretty little bat. It doesn't get much prettier than that. I like to see that. But it doesn't mean that it's automatic. Nice one down here, and I hit it exactly to the pip and took off. You could see that price is actually developing in this zone a little bit. So we got to be patient. We want to wait. Don't be rushing into anything because you're afraid of missing a trade. There's always the next one if that develops. So, but let's take a look at what could potentially happen here. We see we got a nice pullback here. If I measure this, if I go ahead and measure this swing here to this swing high here, you see we get a 50% pullback, right? And so we're again looking at 886. Where could we possibly go if we sell off? We're at the 119.86 area. There's some structure down here, so we're going to go ahead and put a potential buy zone right in here. And you can see that if we do extend out, we're back to that 175 area that comes in. There's some nice ratio confluence that comes right in this area, the 175 extension. So, but let's look left. Let's see what's going on. You see some structure here, some structure here, some structure here. All right, so we want to pay attention to this level. Also, if we come down to 150 and we start breaking out of this area, we can just flip this, and we can just look at, okay, where does our extension come in? Well, we got a 131 extension right here, right near our line where there's some ratio confluence. Is 127 extension off of this swing. There's a 131 extension off of this swing right here. So there's some things going on in our area up here that we'll definitely want to pay attention to for a potential move. If we get a 131 or 141, 127, you can see 141 right here. You could potentially have a big brother or little brother pattern. You could potentially have a cipher or a shark that develops, comes up here, and then comes down into 786 or an 886 and 1.131 extension. So there's a lot of things that could potentially be developing in this area, but if we keep in mind the weekly, you could see that there should be some opportunity, and we've already experienced a lot of opportunity that made it possible for nice bank to be made with price being respected in certain areas and behavior presenting itself to a point where you can get involved with the trade. So that's it. That's all I wanted to go over. Some nice development, some nice pattern trading that's developing with the Euro USD, and we're at significant levels on the weekly, which go in line with what we're seeing with EuroCAD and Euro Aussie as well. So we want to be paying attention to what's going on with the Euro at these levels. So I hope you enjoy, have fun, trade your plan, make a great day, do your own due diligence, and may we all make bank, game-changing bank, the kind of bank that makes you just think and grow.